first came into Fitballs, you were making two, maybe 3K, and you had how many followers?
I think like 3 or 4 thousand maybe.
And now where you're at today, how much are you making today? And how many followers do you have?
Well, this past month was my best month, and I made 12K, which was so exciting.
Let's
I was
fucking
freaking out.
go.
That was
Excellent
awesome.
job.
Thank you. And then I think today I just hit 11.7K on
That's a
Instagram.
big difference. It's just proof that you don't need a million followers to hit over $10,000 per month. So, Madison, I'm so happy for you. So proud of you. Great job for crushing it. We are with one of our rock star Fit Boss coaches, Coach Madison, today. And Coach Madison, as I just mentioned to you, you just crush it inside the coaching program. So, why don't you let our viewers know a little bit about where you were before you started Fit Boss?
Yes. So before I kind of felt like a chicken with my head cut off all the time. I am still working a full-time job by choice, which very excited because now technically I could stop if I wanted to. But before I was trying to balance that, struggling. I was doing some in person. I only had like maybe 1 or 2 clients online at the time, so very lost. Didn't really know what I was doing.
Okay. So why do you still have a full-time job even though you could go ahead and go with your business full time?
Yes. So I like to say that I do like having the extra income. Like hair is expensive. I just got my hair done and I was like, ooh. So that's nice having that additional income because that is now
Hmm.
like the income I can spend. Whereas my coaching
Nice.
income, that's income I can live off of, but then also invest back into my business, which is of course what I want to do
Yeah.
eventually full time. So that's been really exciting.
Has that process been hard for you? Because not a lot of coaches can get to your level where you're at, making as much money that you're making, and still have a whole ass other job that they have to tend to too. So was that part hard for you?
The transition, yes, but then once I started working with FitBoss and kind of understanding how to get all your ducks in a row, time blocking has been really beneficial. So once I actually had a strategy, it no longer was so much hard. Of course, yes, it's
Mm.
busy, but it's not really hard.
What was the hardest part?
Not slacking off, scrolling on my phone, being on TikTok, wasting time. That honestly was the hardest part. Staying focused can be tough.
Now that time blocking, you put down your phone, and what did you end up doing?
Focusing on what I can do during the times I had in between meetings, whether it was doing outreach, whether it was editing content, filming content when I had a bigger chunk of time, really just finding ways to maximize my time without just kind of pushing things to the side.
Yeah. And what is your full time job?
I do account management for a company that does ads for social media.
And why did you decide to build a fitness business?
I've always been super into fitness. So I originally started kind of when I was in competitive cheer. I liked working out. And then after I had an eating disorder, that was super hard. But the way that I recovered and continued to get better was by posting, sharing stuff that I learned along with my healing journey. Like that was very healing to me. And
Yeah.
then one day someone was like, why are you posting workout videos? You're not even a certified trainer. So I was like, you know what? Good point. I'm going to go get certified. So I got certified, realized that I love it. And that's what fulfills me being able to help others, whether they're at the very end of the spectrum, maybe overeating, or they're drastically undereating, being able to help people from all different sides. And that's why I started it.
Yeah. Would you say that the big turning point for you with your fitness journey was overcoming your eating disorder?
Yes, because that's what really got me into learning. Like the way that I healed, I didn't go to someone else to get help. Like my mom often would threaten me, but I was
Yeah.
like, this is a problem that I started myself. I want to figure out how to get out of it. So the more I learned about nutrition and how the body works when you're working out, that's what provided me with healing. And then realizing there's so many other benefits when it comes to just being healthy, feeling healthy. I wanted to be able to share that with as many people as I possibly could.
How has that helped your business though?
It's helped in a lot of ways because now I can understand what it may feel like to not be happy where you're currently at in your body, or maybe have this mental block of being scared to eat more or scared to put your trust into someone else who may know a little bit more. It's definitely scary. So being able to connect with people who are in that same place or maybe similar place has drastically helped me just connect a lot more with my own clients.
Would you say you are to a degree your ideal client as well?
Yes, because I was in a place where I loved going out on the weekends, but now I have been like, okay, I need to prioritize this. And so that can be tough too, but being able to help others do it, it's like we're a little team enjoying our little FOMO together, but making the most
Yeah.
out of it.
It sounds like that you are mostly helping people from your past experiences and you're helping them overcome their challenges because you've already overcome your personal challenges.
Hmm.
Now, in regards to your fitness business, after you got a chance to time block, you put your phone down, you got focus. What else was hard after that for you?
Oh, that's a good question. But probably the hardest is just matching my abilities to my mindset because I never thought that I was capable of maybe charging as much as I could charge or getting as many clients as I have right now. That was always my main block. So doing a lot of work internally was a huge challenge for me because I would constantly look at others as any humans do and be like, wow, like this person achieved this in the program. Like, I'm so far from that. How do they do it? And being like, okay, I know just as much. I know how to do this. I can do this. But being able to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to charge and I am going to achieve it. Yes, it's going to take time, but I can't compare myself to someone who maybe did it in 6 months. My journey is my journey and it may take a little longer. My path may be a little different. So just fully grasping that and allowing myself to take the time that I need.
The first time you charged what you charged for your coaching program, were you nervous?
Yes, because I was scared they were going to immediately be like, oh my gosh, no. They actually, the first time I raised my price from what I originally had it as, they said yes. And they're like, okay, cool. And I was like, what? It was crazy.
How did you feel in that moment, though?
I felt like I needed to get started on their program right now. But what I realized was what I have to offer and the value of the program is worth that, plus even more. So it's not absurd to charge the price that I'm charging.
Was there any specific coaching in the coaching program that helped with your mindset?
Yes, learning about your financial thermostat, and I still have to remind myself of that. It's like, okay, I, at this time last year, was not at the place that I'm at right now. My financial thermostat was low. I thought it was
Mm,
crazy to make like $10,000 a month. No way,
yeah.
even from like a bunch of streams of income. But then when you raise it, you're like, it's not that hard, and then you just continually raise it as you see what you're capable of.
Financial thermostat. That's something that we talk about in the coaching program. And that
Mhm.
was a new ideal to you. And where's your financial thermostat at now? Like, if you're open to sharing that.
So right now I'm like per month my next goal is 20,000 from my job and coaching
Hmm.
because my job does not really pay that much. So that's just like a
Yeah.
small part of it. So a huge part of it is now coming from coaching.
Mm. How has that bled into other areas of your life? Increasing that thermostat, how has that transferred to other areas of your life?
Oh, it's helped me in so many areas. I'm now so much more confident, whether it's making a phone call, asking for certain things, taking the lead when I'm with a group of people. I feel so much more confident, not just from a financial perspective, but just as a human. Because I've been able to see what I'm capable of achieving and then realizing that we all can achieve so much. It's really just our mindset and being able to match our mindset to the actions we want to achieve.
Would it be safe to say that you were playing it safe before?
Oh, yeah, like below safe.
But why though? Why were you playing it safe?
Because I was scared. I was scared of charging more. I was scared of like, what happens if I grow the business too big and I can't handle it? Just like little things that pop in your head. And it's like someone once said it 90% of the things that you are scared of and that you fear never even happen. So, like, why even think about it?
No. Was it a little bit of uncertainty too, as well?
Yeah. Because I was like, well, what if I fail? What if this is just an epic failure? That was kind of an aspect of it too.
What's next for you in regards to helping your audience?
Yeah. So, obviously, to reach more, that's always been
Yeah.
the goal, just as many people as I can. Even if I'm not working with them one on one directly, be able to serve them in one way, shape, or form. What that looks like, don't really know yet, but that is my
Hmm.
goal. But then, of course, the people that I can be hands on with and work with one on one, just helping them in every single way, whether it is losing weight, gaining muscle, shifting their mindset, just be able to touch so many more people and continuously grow and grow and grow, which eventually I'm going to need some help to do that too, because right now I'm
Sure.
kind of just doing it myself, but that is a path that I want to go down.
Well, you are with Fitballs. What do you mean you're doing it yourself?
Like me, the only coach. I'm not doing it myself at all, but like me as the coach.
Yeah, yeah. The next part of that is definitely building out your team and
Yes,
further optimizing your systems as well.
exactly.
So, when you first came into Fitballs, how much were you making though?
I think I was making like maybe 2K,
Okay.
like 1 or 2K.
And how many followers do you have?
Now I have on Instagram it's like 11.6 or 11.7, which is crazy because I also only had like 3,000, 4,000 when I came in.
So when you first came into Fitballs, you were making 2, maybe 3K, and you had how many followers?
I think like 3 or 4,000 maybe.
Okay. And now where you're at today, how much are you making today? And how many followers do you have?
Well, this past month was my best month, and I made 12K, which was so exciting.
Let's
I was
fucking
freaking out.
go.
I was so excited.
Let's go.
That was
Excellent
awesome.
job.
Thank you. And then I think today I just hit 11.7K on
That's a
Instagram.
big difference.
Hmm.
That's a you 10x your income,
Hmm.
literally. Yeah. How's that feel?
It feels amazing.
Yeah. Did it feel like it was like that hard though? Like overall. I mean, obviously you had some challenges, but you did it.
Yeah, it's just following the process. There's a strategy, and if you follow it, you're able to do it.
Now, I'm sure people who are listening to this are asking, okay, well, how long did it take for you to get to the point where you were making 2K to 12K? How long did that take?
I think it took me, what, like a year? And I feel like it would have been less time if my mindset would have matched up sooner. Like, I definitely probably held myself back a little bit more in the beginning than more people. Because I was like, oh, I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to ask for this. But if I would have jumped into it earlier, could have achieved it a lot faster.
Would you call it being pushy, or what would you call it being pushy, knowing what you know now?
No, actually, I take that back. I think it's being confident.
That's awesome. Okay, well, what else? It was you got from zero, or sorry, 2,000 to 12K. You broke a lot of limiting beliefs throughout this whole process and throughout this journey. And the mindset just grew astronomically. And you're continuing to push the boundary and continue to grow. Even with 12,000 followers, you're a big influence in the space because you know what you're doing and you're helping women. And so when the women are listening to this and they're looking up to you, what pieces of advice do you have for them that's going on the journey right now that may be posting content and only making 2K?
Hmm. Definitely being okay asking for help. I was someone who I was scared to ask for advice. I was scared to reach out to people, even other people in the program. I was like, oh, I don't want to bother them. But allowing yourself to reach out if you need help, there's a huge resource, whether it is content related, whether it is just confidence, skills, and asking questions. There's no dumb questions. And sometimes you need people who are above you to help you grow.
Yes. Did you ever want to quit?
There were some times where I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know
Yeah.
if I
Why is
necessarily
that?
wanted to quit, but I was kind of like, oh, this is a little
But
scary.
why though?
And get a little anxiety. I knew that it was working, but I was like, well, what if things stop working? What if people want to stop coming? It's like, I just thought of all these what if things.
How did you find certainty in the uncertain?
By following the process and realizing that if you put in the work, it's going to come back to you. It may take a little bit longer than maybe what you thought, but if you continuously do the same thing, you're consistent with things, just like working out in the gym, the results are going to come.
I'm gonna feed you this answer a little bit, but was that from you looking at the evidence as well?
Yes, I feel like that did help a lot. Being able to see, like, oh, when I posted this many times a week or reached out to this many people, then I was able to achieve XYZ.
I fed you that question because I know you and I had talks about looking at the data a lot,
Hmm.
right? And that's really important because when you look at the data, you no longer are in your head about what ifs. You all you have to do is just look at the data. And coming from an accountant background where all you do is look at numbers, when you are able to look at your own numbers, how did that make you feel?
It made me realize that sometimes it does require a little bit more work than what you may think. Like I
Hmm.
was like, oh, I actually need to reach out to a lot more people than I thought, or I really need to do more posts than I thought. But again, it's like if it's going to work, why would you not do it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, once you have that number of how many people that you need to reach out to per day or posts that you need to make per week, now you have more of a concrete number to rely on that will
Hmm.
give you the result that you want. So even though you have to do a little bit more work, now you actually have the accurate number of work that you have to do to hit the number that you want as the result. And if anybody was on the fence about joining FitBoss, you already gave your advice to women, but anybody on the fence with joining FitBoss, what piece of advice would you give to them?
Do it. 100% do it. Even if you think that it's going to be more money than maybe you're comfortable paying, you are going to make that back at some point, plus way more. So the community that you get out of it, the instruction you get out of it, the guidance, every single thing is worth every penny. So 100% do it. Don't even think twice.
I appreciate you, Madison. And not only just for that, but I mean, you did it. You know, you're speaking from experience and you have the results to prove it. You have the Instagram page to prove it. If anybody wants to review it, Madison's Instagram page, I'm gonna also link it right here so you can check it out. But it's just proof that you don't need a million followers to hit over $10,000 per month. It's also proof that Madison has another job that she works full time while building her online fitness business. It took her a year to do it to get to this point. However, she followed the strategy and she stayed focused. And most importantly, she got help, right? When you were in your head about something, you actually did get coaching. And what
Mhm.
I did is say, hey, let's look at the data, right? What does the data show? And now we make decisions based off of the data. So Madison, I'm so happy for you. So proud of you. Great job for crushing it. And keep up the great work. This is awesome. I'm sure everybody that's watching this replay is like, oh, let's fucking go. I can't wait to do this. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Ruben.